Namaste, Yogi. Welcome to your practice. Today, we're focusing on a gentle beginner yoga flow to open and align your chakras. Chakra is Sanskrit for spinning disc, and in yoga, we believe that these spinning discs or energy centers are located in various parts of our body. We also believe in the yoga world that there are 7 main energy centers or chakras located in our spine. Today we'll be navigating those energy centers with gentle movement and breath work. And when we bring more attention and breath into these energy centers, we help to open up the energetic flow of our prana or life force energy. Let's get started in a comfortable seat. Now, you don't have to sit cross-legged. You can always sit in a different position, but wherever you are, place your palms down somewhere on your body. You're going to take a moment to rest, find supportive posture, close your eyes, and ground in. Take a moment to breathe deeply here, just slowing down, becoming more aware of the ground beneath you, this present moment that you're breathing into, becoming more aware of your practice. As you sit here and breathe, bring more awareness to your body and start to notice from head to toe where you can release tension. Imagine all of that tension rolling off your body into the earth. Continue to relax. As you soften your body, notice how this creates more room for your breath. Feel your breath moving in and out of your soft, relaxed body. Now start to notice your spine. And if you became so soft that you're rounding your shoulders, realign your shoulders over hips. Sit tall. And imagine yourself breathing up and down your spine. So for every inhale, feel as if you're breathing through the top of your head and down the back of your head and the back of your neck, and all the way down your spine to your tailbone. And that breath even moves through the tailbone. And as you exhale, you also release back up through the tailbone, through your sacrum, through your spine, through the back of your neck, your head, and back up through the crown of your head again. So it's almost like your spine is a hollow channel or a straw. And that breath is just moving through that hollow point in the center. Continue to relax your body if any tension was created as you did that. And just keep breathing up and down your spine a little longer as you ground in. Take a few more breaths here. And continue to keep your eyes closed, but let go of the need to control your breath. Instead, bring your awareness to your body, specifically to your tailbone. And from your tailbone, notice your lower body. Notice your legs, your knees, your shins, your ankles, your feet and toes. And as you notice all of these places in your lower body, feel yourself soften these spaces more. With every breath that you release from your body, release more tension from your lower body. Again, connecting to the earth. Let the earth take the tension. as you ground in deeper. As you relax your body in this way, feel yourself almost becoming heavier to the earth, grounding you into your practice. Let's take one more breath here. And then bring your hands to your heart and gently blink your eyes open. Let's take an inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Exhale, bring your hands back down to your heart and on down to your legs. Let's do that 2 more times. And just take a moment to settle your body if you need to. If you need to adjust your seat, go ahead and do that as well. So we are beginning with our first energy center, or root chakra. And this begins at the root of our body, our tailbone, and on through our legs, feet, and toes. This is a place where we connect to earth energy, and it's also responsible for helping us to feel more grounded. So I mentioned that heavy sensation you feel in your body as you connect to the earth. That is that sensation of earth energy. This is also a place where we feel grounded, we feel stable. It's a place where we build our foundation, and it's also a place where we feel safe and secure. So as you breathe into your practice and you take a journey with me on your mat today, I encourage you to move in a way that feels good for your body. You're safe to do whatever you need to create more space for your breath and to provide more comfort. You're in a safe space to do whatever you need to create more peace. Let's continue with our root chakra, moving into a seated version of cat and cow. So you're going to take hold of your legs again, palms down, somewhere around knees or shins. On an inhale, you're going to start to pull on those legs, tilt your tailbone back, open your chest, and look up, arching the spine. On your exhale, you'll round the spine, curl your tailbone under, look down, take hold of your legs, and lean back. Inhale again, arching the spine, looking up, seated cow. Exhale, rounding your spine, looking down, seated cat. Inhale, seated cow. Exhale, seated cat. And you're going to keep going here, and we're connecting to our root chakra through our vertebrae. So a lot of times the root chakra is only referred to as the tailbone or the legs or the lower parts of the body, but it's actually all of the vertebrae as well. So we're just opening up our spine here, creating more space as we move with our breath. Let's do maybe one more here. And then whenever you're ready to release, just shake it out, come back to neutral. And if your legs are crossed, switch the cross in your legs. You could also just sit a different way to mix it up. We're just trying to balance out things in our hips. Now, the other thing about the root chakra, it is associated with a color. It's the color red. And if you want to think about this energy of red, think about the red, hot molten core of the earth. When we connect down to this red core of the earth, we almost feel this magnetic pull down to the center of our planet. So anytime you want to connect to your root chakra, you can relax through your lower body. You can align your spine, align your vertebrae, support your posture, maybe breathe up and down your spine, and really let go into the center of the earth. Now, I mentioned adjusting your seat to adjust your hips. We're moving on now to our second energy center, and this is located in our hips and our sacrum. So just above the tailbone now, we're moving into a place called the sacral chakra. And this is associated with water energy. So we're going to start to move like water. You're going to rock side to side, opening up any tension around the outside of your hips. And as you rock side to side, you could also tune into your pelvis. So your pelvis almost looks like the shape of a bowl, and you can imagine that bowl holding water. And there's a lot of tension that's held up there, especially through emotional processing. And a lot of times in our yoga process, we experience emotional stuff, right? And so if you want to really kind of fast track that process, I've said process 3 times now, but if you want to fast track that, you open up your hip spaces more. And we can even start to connect to water by moving around in a fluid way. So just start to maybe circle the hips or take half circles. Start to wiggle around any way you need to open up the space more. Our sacral chakra is also related to feelings of pleasure and worthiness. It's also where we relate to others outside of our family. It's kind of where we find our go with the flow energy. It's a very creative energy as well. So we can get creative with how we move our body now. Just listening to what we need, giving ourselves that feel-good feeling, right? Tapping into pleasure, knowing that we're worthy of that feel-good feeling as well. Let's take maybe 1 or 2 more breaths here, moving around like water, staying loose and fluid in our body. And when you're ready to release, come back up to neutral. Now we're gonna move into butterfly pose. Bring the soles of your feet together. Open up your knees. We're just tapping into our hips a little deeper now. And also make sure you're connecting your first and second energy centers by finding supportive posture. So we're really stacking our tailbone, our sacrum, and the rest of our vertebrae as we open up our hip spaces. This is the place where our pelvis and our spine are connected. So we really tap into that by making sure that we're sitting in a supportive way to continue to breathe down that hollow channel through our spine. Now, if you need to fold deeper in this pose, you want to make sure to maintain that neutral spine the whole time. So we don't want to round forward here. We want to keep leaning into it with a nice tall back. Just continue to breathe into your legs and notice how you have to relax your root chakra, your lower parts of your body, to open up your sacral chakra, to open up your hip spaces. It takes time here to find that connection and to create that space between the two. We'll take maybe 1 or 2 more breaths, really sink into your exhales, connect back to that earth energy. And as you breathe here, you can also think about an orange ball of light if you want to know about the color of your second energy center. Very similar to that lava, right? The hot lava, or when the core of the earth starts to move in a more fluid way, it's that orange lava, right? So we're connecting to that now, and you might even feel a little bit of heat here in your hips. So when you are ready to release, you're gonna flip over now, and we're gonna find tabletop or hands and knees pose. Take a moment to really ground in here, again with that neutral spine, maintaining flat back, hollow channel for your breath. Spread your fingers wide, root them into the earth, and tuck your toes. We're going back into our cat-cow. We'll inhale, tilt the tailbone, look up, open up the spine, and then exhale, flatten your feet, tuck your tailbone, look down, round your spine. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Continue to move here. And again, notice that connection between your hips and your lower parts of your body. So the more we move our pelvis, we have to move our tailbone. And the more we move our tailbone, the more we can open up our pelvis. It's all connected. In that practice we call yoga, or yogin, or binding, Let's do maybe one more round of cat and cow. When you're ready, you'll return to neutral spine. And we'll tap back just into the hips more with hip swing. So we're gonna swing our right hip to the right, look over your right shoulder, cinch in your waist, and then move to the other side. So swing your hip left, look over your left shoulder. And inhale as you swing one way. Exhale as you swing the other way. Continuing to look side to side. Let that feel good for your hips and your tailbone. It's almost like you're wagging out your tail here with a neutral spine. And this really releases tension around low back and sacrum. Let's do maybe one more each way here. And then when you're ready, you'll release and have a seat on the knees. Now, if it doesn't feel good to sit on your knees, you can certainly sit a different way. But wherever you are, you're gonna take a moment to turn your palms back down towards the earth, align your vertebrae, find that supportive posture, and then really relax around your hips and pelvis, your glutes, your thighs, the rest of your legs. Sink back down to the ground. You can even close your eyes if you want to. You're gonna take a few breaths here. Feel that connection back down to the ground. Notice how you have to release around your hips in order to release more in your root chakra. Take a few breaths to ground back in. And maybe notice how when you focused elsewhere, this pulled you away from that grounding sensation. If you have any tension here, let it go. Release it back to the earth. Let's take one more breath. And come back up to a tabletop. Blink your eyes open. And once you ground in, we're just gonna tap back into our neutral spine and then move into our third energy center. So now we're moving into our core or our solar plexus. And we start by taking our right leg out, lifting it up, pointing the toes, and just keeping our hips squared down to the ground. And we're working really hard to activate our core here, so you might need to even take a little tuck of the tailbone. And feel that heat firing up. This is your internal sun or fire energy. Take an inhale. On the exhale, release back down, shake it all out. When you're ready, move to the other side. Lift your left foot. Hips are squaring down. We're really pressing in. Notice how the hips are connected to your core, helping you to stabilize here. Notice how the leg has to stay stable as well, building that foundation from your root. Take one more breath. Release back down. Shake out any tension if you need to. That might have created tension in low back and hips, right? It's all connected. Let's reground back into our tabletop when you're ready. And we're gonna go back into our core here, this third energy center. We're gonna extend our left foot out on the ground, right fingertips out on the ground. And I mentioned this is our internal sun, so we're finding sunbird pose. We're gonna lift up our leg, hips are squaring down, lift up our hand, challenge our balance here, maintain that neutral spine. It's all connected, right? Keep reaching out. Really fire up your energy. Take an inhale. Exhale, bring it down, shake it all out. And we're gonna move to the other side. So our solar plexus, or our third energy center, lift up when you're ready. This is where we hold our strength, our discipline, our willpower and drive. It's that drive to stay in the pose when you want to come out. It's where we build a lot of strength in our back. Take a deep breath, release back down, shake it all out. And again, sit on the knees or a different way if you need to. So when we stabilize our core, which isn't just our abdominal muscles, but when we stabilize the muscles around the center or trunk of our body, we also stabilize our spine. And the more we stabilize our spine, the more we stabilize our root chakra. And the more we stabilize those two, our hips kind of fall in between and align as well. So we're just building things up from the ground, but notice how with each energy center, we're also aligning very specific places in our body. So after we do abdominal work or core work, it's really good to stretch out those muscles. So when you're ready, you're going to take your right arm up, bend your elbow, bring your left hand over to your elbow, and press and open up more. Now, if you want to bring your chin down to chest, make sure that you try to resist that. You want to keep some distance between your chin and chest. Sit nice and tall, align your vertebrae. If this creates tension in your hips or your glutes, check back in, try to soften. Just take a few breaths as you open up and stretch out your core. And when you're ready, you're going to release and move over to the other elbow. Keep opening up, lengthening your spine along the way. Take an inhale. Exhale, release your arms back down. Let's go back into our tabletop again. And just to release our wrists, take fingertips out to the sides, rock side to side, shoulders over hands. So we're starting to move on to our next energy center, and we start by opening up our wrists and forearms. You might even feel it in shoulders and elbows. Let's take a deep breath, come back to neutral, bring the hands forward. Again, take your right foot behind. This time, place your toes on the ground, press back through your heel, and walk your left fingertips out on the ground, but everything stays grounded now. We're just reaching out opposite ends of our body as far as we can go. Again, stretching through our core muscles, maybe some of those abdominal muscles or side muscles in the ribs. Take an inhale. Exhale, release it all back to neutral. We'll switch to the other side, pressing back, grounding in, stretching out the body, almost like an X here. A very condensed X, a tall X. Take a deep breath. Bring it back into center. And this time, just the legs. You're going to take your right foot behind, toes on the ground, press back through your heel, maintain neutral spine. If you want to let your head relax a little bit, go ahead. But notice that connection from your feet all the way up through your hips and all the way up through some of your back muscles now. Maybe even your shoulders. Take a deep breath in. As you release, cross your foot over to the left, set your toes back down. Again, look around your left shoulder towards your hip and foot, and keep breathing into this side stretch. This might also deepen your hips. Take an inhale. Exhale, return to neutral. Let's go to the other side. Calf stretch on the left foot, pressing back. Maintain that neutral spine, stretch all the way through now. We're really opening up these energy centers. When you're ready to release, cross your foot over to the right, look around towards your foot. Breathe into your left side. And release back into neutral. And we're going to go into a child's pose, resting all the way down. Just relaxing your arms out now, breathing into it. You're going to let your head go, and you're going to check back in with your body. Connect back to that root earth energy. Just sink down and become heavy. Let the core of the earth pull you down, and as you do so, soften your hips. Soften your belly so you can receive breath. Soften your back muscles and start to soften around your shoulders, throughout your chest and your underarms, breathing all the way through. Let's take 1 or 2 more breaths here to ground. And then come back up to tabletop. And we're gonna stretch out the back of our shoulders now. We'll start with an open twist. We'll take our right arm out, pressing through the left hand. And you keep reaching up as far as you can go, really twisting through the ribs. Take a deep breath here. On the exhale, thread your arm underneath. Relax your shoulder, your ear, and your head back down to the ground. And just continue to sink in here, letting go. We're opening up the back of our heart now. You might even feel some sensations through your arms and wrists. And take an inhale. Exhale, unwind, reset. Let's go to the other side. Left arm's gonna reach up. Press through your right hand. Really rotate through your ribs, maybe even through your stomach, your hips, your legs. Find that connection and then thread it all under. Relax the back of your body, relax your upper body, and breathe. And take an inhale, exhale, unwind, and we're going into our first downward facing dog. So spread your fingers wide, tuck your toes, lift your hips, draw your navel into belly to protect your low back. Send your hips back, send your heart back towards your legs, connect your heart, connect your legs, and breathe here. Now you can bend your knees as much or as little as you need to. Let's go ahead and move around a little bit with this one. Just let your body arrive into the pose. And feel that nice stretch maybe through your sides or chest or underarms. Feel the grounding of your hands and feet. And start to find stillness. When you're ready, walk your hands back toward your feet. And when you're ready, roll all the way up to standing. Once you ground in, just roll your shoulders back down and away a few times. Release any tension there. And then let's take a big breath overhead. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. 2 more times. And we're going to go back to our stretch, reaching the left arm overhead. Bend your elbow, right hand goes to that elbow, and you open up more. This is called half cow facing arm, and we're really tapping in to our heart chakra now. This is our 4th energy center, and it can be either pink or green in color. This is not only our heart, but it's also our circulatory system. So we're really opening up our underarms right now. And this is a place where we have a lot of lymph nodes. Let's go ahead and switch to the other side. So not only our circulatory system as far as blood, but also our lymph and our other fluids. And we really want to tap in also to this hip-heart connection. So remember, I mentioned the heart is our water energy. Well, notice how when you're stretching from your underarms, you feel it down in your outer hips. Let's go ahead and reach both arms up and relax the arms back down. We also have a hip-heart connection when we're seated. So when you were seated and you reached up in this half cow facing arm, you might have felt some tension in your hips, glutes, legs, right? So the more that we tap into these energy centers, we start to understand the physical connection in our body as well. And there is an energetic connection between our hips and our heart, right? Because our hips are associated with how we relate to others, also romantically, also associated with pleasure. And our heart is also where we relate to others romantically or where we experience pleasure. So it's all connected in the energy world just as much as it is in the physical world, if that makes sense. So when we bring our hands to heart in our yoga practice, we're also connecting to our heart chakra. And this reminds us to connect to air energy. This is what resides here in this 4th energy center. And when we breathe through our heart, we're moving down into the rest of our 4 energy centers. When we breathe out of our heart, same concept, we're releasing tension from those 4 energy centers. Let's inhale, reach up and overhead. And exhale, move through the heart, fold all the way back down, and you're gonna make your way back out to your tabletop. From there, you're just gonna go back into a child's pose and begin to rest. And we're gonna connect back to this earth energy as we connect to the air. So believe it or not, our backside of our body is where we open up more in regards to our lungs. So our lungs breathe more into our backside than the front. It's why when a doctor checks your breathing, they always put the stethoscope on your back. So we want to release tension through our back muscles and in between our shoulders so that we have more room to breathe here. Notice how when you soften, you have more room for your lungs to expand upward or through the backside of your body. Notice how when you ground in and you soften these spaces, you also have more room to breathe. So anytime you need to breathe deeper or ground into your body, connect from your heart down. Connect to all 4 energy centers. Soften and create more space for yourself. And then give yourself time and stillness to breathe. Let's take a few more breaths in this way, letting go. And when you're ready, rise back up to tabletop and then back into your down dog. And just take a moment to breathe here. And I mentioned before, letting your heart sink towards your legs. Again, connecting your energy centers here and really aligning all the way through. Notice how this pose opens up your legs, your hips, your core muscles, your back, your spine, your shoulders, your chest, and underarms. When you're ready, walk your hands back to your feet. Come all the way up to standing. Take a deep breath overhead and exhale, hands to heart. So we're moving on to balance work now. We're going to ground into our right foot first and open up through the left side. This is our tree pose, and you can stay right here, or if you want more, you could bring your heel over your ankle. If you need more than that, bring your foot up to your calf or above your knee, just not directly on your knee. We don't want to put pressure into our knee, forcing it to bend sideways because it doesn't normally bend that way. I'm just going to come down to heel over ankle here. And as we breathe here, we're coming back into the connection of these 4 energy centers. So really feel the grounding of your right foot, right? Really feeling it connected to earth energy. Get heavy through your right leg. Notice how you have to align your hips over your ankle. Notice how you have to hold your core steady here. Strong back, strong spine, engaged core. And with hands at heart, we're reminded to relax our shoulders, release everything down, and breathe deeply. When we breathe in and out in a balanced way, in a peaceful way, we find more balance physically in our body. So take maybe one more breath through the heart here. And then when you're ready, shake it all out. Let it all go. And then when you're ready, root into your left foot, other side, hands to heart. Lift your right heel, open up your hips, and then move into your balance work from there. Now it might be different on this side versus the other, and that's okay. As you breathe here with hands at heart, you're also connecting to your center of gravity, which is right at heart center. And when we connect to the center of gravity, we just bring everything into the present again. We let go of the external. We focus on the internal instead. So continue to breathe into your center here, no matter how shaky it is. Try to find that hollow channel through your spine, breathing into it, breathing out through it. Take one more breath. And release back down. Shake it all out. Now let's just reground, really opening up the toes, spreading wide, setting them back down, maybe picking up your heels again, just getting as much of your feet connected to the earth as possible. And then pull up through the center of gravity. So feeling this pull through the center of your legs and the insides, up into your tailbone and pelvis. Feel a slight tuck of your tailbone. It's just super gentle here to align your hips. Feel your core engaged yet soft. Relax your shoulders. Bring your hands to heart and breathe here. Close your eyes. Take a moment to ground back in and connect to these 4 energy centers that you've opened up. Let's take one more breath here. And when you're ready, blink your eyes open. Everything stays where it is. We're moving into a standing heart opener now. So you want to be mindful to really lift up and out of your spine instead of creating tension in your low back. Remember, I mentioned there's a connection between your heart and your hips. So as you do this, really root down through your feet, press in, get taller, draw your navel in, up towards your heart, roll the shoulders back, feel that lengthening through the spine, and breathe here. Stay soft in your hips and glutes so you can open up and soften your heart more. Keep breathing into your standing heart opener. You might want to press your hips slightly forward. When you're ready, return back into neutral, and we'll just release our arms and hands, swinging out our arms, staying soft in the lower body in a little bit of an elephant trunk pose, releasing any tension there. When you're ready, slow it all back down. We're going to ground into our feet. We're going to take an inhale, reach overhead. And this time, flip your hands, exhale, swan dive, arms nice and wide, open the heart, fold all the way down. You're going to walk out to your tabletop and then walk on out to your belly. Keep your hands down next to your shoulders and press up strong into upward facing dog. Now, same concept, keep your lower body soft, lift your navel up towards your heart, roll your shoulders back, keep relaxing in the low back. Another way to open up your heart space or your heart chakra. Let's take one more breath here. And then exhale, gently press back into your tabletop. Back into your child's pose. Just take a moment to rest. Take a few breaths into the back of your lungs. Release any tension in your body. Clear your mind if you need to. And then when you're ready, return back into your downward facing dog. You're going to walk your hands and feet to the center of your mat. Come on up to standing. Take a breath overhead and exhale, hands to heart again. So we're gonna open up our arms nice and wide and give ourselves a big hug. So crossing right over the left, you're just gonna start to walk your hands around as deep as you can go around your shoulders. When you can't go any farther, begin to move around. Open up your body, just let it feel good for you. So an energy that resides in the heart space is love, especially self-love and compassion and non-judgment. And these are energies we really want to hold in our yoga practice and also our lives, right? But we practice it here on the mat. When we give ourselves self-love, we don't judge ourselves if we can't balance on one leg right, or we're not strong enough to move through our flow, or, those heart openers are challenging. We just find gratitude for what we can do for our body, for the practice and how it benefits us. Let's take one more breath here. When you're ready, release, shake it all out. Let's go to the other side, reaching out, cross left over right, walk your hands around. Move around however you need to. So when we cultivate this love and compassion and non-judgment for ourselves in our practice, within ourselves, it makes it easier for us to hold that for others. And everything we do on our mats is symbolic of how we live our lives off of our mats, right? So, give yourself that compassion, that love. Know that you're worthy of it. There's that connection to the hips and sacral chakra again. That you're worthy of love. You're worthy of not being judged. You're worthy of moving your body in a way that helps you feel more peaceful and create more space to breathe. Let's take one more breath here. And release back down, shake it all out, and really notice that energy that might move through the arms. That's your heart chakra opening up. So at this point, we've moved through our heart, our solar plexus, or internal sun, our hips, our water energy, our root chakra, our earth energy, and these 4 energy centers are associated with our earth, with our human experience, with our human body. The rest of our energy centers, there's 3 more, are associated more with the spiritual or the ether, kind of beyond this planet or beyond this earth grounding sensation. And you'll see what I mean as we move along. But we're going to start with our throat. So when you're ready, stand nice and tall, root into supportive posture, and then inhale, look up. On the exhale, look down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down, and keep moving with breath. Notice how this may want to pull your shoulders in a different way. Keep aligning. Notice how those shoulders are connected to your neck and throat. Heart connection and throat connection. And whenever you're ready, the next time your chin falls to chest, just stay there, breathe, standing tall, continuing to roll shoulders back if you need to. Feel that release through the back of your neck, through the base of your skull. And then gently roll one ear towards your shoulder, back down through your heart, over to the other side. We're going to make half circles, side to side, ear to shoulder. And as we tap into our 5th energy center, the throat chakra, you can notice now how it's not just your throat. It's also maybe your ears. And it can also be your nose. It's a connection to your sinuses. Let's take one more shoulder roll each way. And then return back into neutral. So even right now, I've got some sinus stuff and it can feel like a little ear thing as I roll side to side. This is also your nose, so it does have to do with your breath and your airways again. And it's connected to the element of ether because it has to do with this inner hearing or this inner listening in addition to the way that we speak or communicate. Our throat is responsible for honesty, it's responsible for self-expression, and it's responsible for our breath. So it helps us to filter our life force energy and our prana. It brings in fresh prana into our heart to cleanse anything out with our earthly human body. It also helps us to channel anything that moves up through the heart and out that hasn't been digested through the rest of the body. Let's inhale, reach overhead. And then exhale, bring hands to heart and layer one hand over the heart on top of the other. Anchor the heart down by pulling down to the earth and then look up again. Continue to move your neck any way you need to now and notice how this helps you even create more space. Notice how if you have tension in your heart, you'll have tension in your throat. And this does include the way that you speak and communicate and express yourself to others. So we want to really open up this channel between the two, making sure that there's a pure place for prana and life force to move through. Relax your jaw, those talking muscles. Notice that connection. Take a breath. And then release back down and just let it all go again. You might feel some energy again move through the arms, releasing heart chakra. When you're ready, let's inhale, reach up and overhead. Exhale, fold all the way down, letting go. Take a half lift and then walk out to your tabletop, or you could go for a plank if you want to really fire up your core. Lower down to the belly when you're ready, and then move into your up dog. Again, we're going to hold this here. So soften through your low back, lift up and out through your spine. And if you want to add the throat to the heart opener, just look up more. Okay, the more you look up, the more you soften your low back, the more you draw your navel up and in towards your heart to support you. Take one more breath here. Release back down. Let's go back into our down dog. And take a few breaths, letting the head go. And then walk back towards your feet. Come all the way up to standing. And take a deep breath overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's inhale, reach back up. Exhale, fold all the way through. And half lift or not, you choose. We're going to walk out to our tabletop, and this time we're just going to find a child's pose. Really letting forehead come down to the mat now. Resting your arms, finding your breath, connecting back to the earth. As you breathe here, you're really feeling this pressure on your third eye. Your sixth energy center, responsible for sixth sense or intuition. So this is a place where we listen to our inner voice. And in our yoga practice, we activate our third eye so that we can listen to ourselves and move in a way that supports us. So notice as you breathe now in your child's pose, as you connect to this third eye, you might feel a need to shift your body to create more room for your breath, or to release more tension, or to ground in deeper into your practice in the present moment. Just take a few moments to breathe here and listen to what you need. Let's take one more breath and then come up just to a tabletop. And we're going to continue with that inner listening by moving freely any way that feels good. So just moving your body around in this tabletop, noticing how you're being internally guided to create more space. And I think the other great thing about our third eye energy is that it's also a space where we, kind of give ourselves permission to have trust and faith in what we need and how our body talks to us or how our mind talks to us. And the more we strengthen this on the mat, the more we listen to our body on our mat, the more we'll listen to that guidance off the mat. So when we get that, sensation or feeling to take a different direction or do something different that day, we really listen to it because we know it's for our greater good. This is kind of a spiritual guidance or spiritual consciousness as well. Take a deep breath here. Let's start to find stillness just so that we can tuck our toes, lift up to down dog. And then again, you're going to take that freedom of movement, continuing to honor your body any way you need to. Open up. Breathing along the way. Let's take maybe one or two more breaths. And then find stillness just so that you can walk your hands back to your feet and roll all the way up to standing. And take that inhale overhead. And exhale down to the heart. So one of the reasons we so often come to child's pose is to activate the third eye. The other reason we so often pass our hands through our third eye, right, down to our heart is again to become aware of this space. Oftentimes in our practice, we look up instead of looking down. When we look up, we move away from the sensation of grounding, but we also look up to the sky, to the universe, to the cosmos, to all of this expansive energy beyond us. And so we start to sense a connection beyond our human bodies, beyond our human earthly experience. We start to see that there's all of this other energy out there that we're also connected to. And this is where the third eye comes into more of a spiritual play in the practice. When we close our eyes, we take our focus off of our human eyes, the looking forward, and we bring our consciousness into our third eye. We start to look up. We start to navigate our mind, our thoughts, things beyond what we can actually see or take a picture of, if that makes sense. So the final energy center is our crown chakra, and it's our 7th energy center. It's, and the third eye is purple, by the way. It's usually purple or kind of an ultraviolet, blue-violet color. Our crown chakra, though, is just above our head or the crown of our head, or kind of our whole energy center outside of our human body. And this can be white or gold or rainbow. It can be all of the colors, and therefore it could also be black, like the black cosmos or space above us. It's kind of everything else. It's everything beyond that spectrum of what we can physically see. And that's why it's beyond what we can physically touch in our body as well. And we activate this so often in our yoga practice by inverting, by going upside down, turning our crown of our head to the earth, and flipping our perspective. And so that's what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna take an inhale, reach up and overhead, and then exhale. Let's really reach out through all of our chakras, through our spine, through the crown of our head. Bend the knees if you need to. Release into your fold when you're ready. And you're just gonna hang out here, really pointing the crown of your head down. Now, if this makes you dizzy or if you have high blood pressure, anything with eyes, you might want to back off of this. But otherwise, if it feels okay for you, just let go. Now, if you have any of those issues and you still want to activate crown chakra, you can always just look forward a little bit. You're still giving yourself a different perspective, bringing all of your spine into an inverted position. So as we hang out here, we're just going to let everything go. We're going to dump out our mind, dump out any chatter, any thoughts that are distracting us. We're going to take a deep breath and then walk on out to tabletop to release. Now I'm going to give you a bonus way to activate your crown chakra that doesn't involve so much of standing on your head or involving too much pressure on your head. Again, if this pose becomes too much for your neck or creates dizziness or discomfort in any way, please back off, but I am gonna demo it first, so watch me first. This is called rabbit pose. We're gonna start in our normal tabletop, but to get into it, you might need to walk your hands a little bit closer to your knees. We also have to bend our elbows and very gently lower the head down to the ground. Now, once I get the crown of my head to the ground, I'm going to press everything forward, really round my spine, tuck my tailbone, and feel a little bit of pressure on the head, but also feel a stretch all the way through my spine. The final piece is the more you press into the ground, the more you can deepen the stretch throughout your whole body. So whenever you're ready, I'm going to have you try this with me. Make sure that you don't look off to the side once you're in the position with the pressure on your head. Just listen to my voice if you need guidance, or come out of the pose to look again. So come into tabletop. Walk your hands closer to your legs if you need to. Gently bend your elbows, kind of ease your body back. Find the crown of your head or the top of your forehead coming down, and then round and press your body forward. Really feel that nice stretch. Maybe press your hands into the ground. Feel that pressure on the crown of your head, activating and opening this space. Remember, we're breathing in and out of this space.
as we breathe through the hollow channel of our spine. Take one more breath here. And then relax back into neutral. You could have a seat on your knees. You could sit a different way, whatever feels good for your body. And let's discuss this for just a moment. So we want to open up the crown of our head because it helps us create that hollow channel all the way through our spine. And you now know that these 7 main energy centers are located kind of up and down the spine. So we want to really bring prana or life force energy through our breath to all of those spaces. We also bring the crown of our head down towards the earth so often in our yoga practice because we want to constantly be reminded that we're this cosmic spiritual being having this earthly human experience. And we're humble for the process. We're grateful for the journey. We bow to the earth and the lessons we receive here, just as much as we honor the creative life force that flows through us. And we could go on, right? That's that philosophical side of yoga. But just know that when you're doing this type of practice and when you're opening up all of these energy centers, you're just connecting to the oneness within yourself and the rest of the universe. And within that, you connect to your energy that moves beyond your body. Once you're done with this body, your energy will move forward. And when you connect to that energy within, you really feel that life force. You feel that tingling. You feel that prana. And you might feel a little different on the other side of this practice. The one final reason that we constantly connect to our crown chakra by inverting and changing our perspective is that we want to do just that. We want to change our perspective. We want to go with the flow as life changes around us and within us and throughout us. And we want to be okay with things being different than what we're used to. Yoga is about being in the present moment. It's about letting go of expectations. When we let go of expectations, we release the potential of disappointment. When we learn to embrace things that are different, we learn to embrace people that are different. We learn to embrace situations that are different. And we learn to be at peace and comfort with all of it. So let's finish our practice now with a few twists. I'm going to have you come out to seated. Bring your legs out in front of you. Maybe shake it all out if you need to. Find supportive posture. Sit tall. And then hug your right knee in towards your chest. Cross your foot over your leg. Wrap your left hand towards your knee. Right hand reaches back. And as you twist, inhale to sit taller. Exhale to twist deeper. Twists are a wonderful way for us to access all of our chakras on our spine. Take a deep breath. Release back to neutral. Let's switch it to the other side. Left knee in, cross your foot over. Right hand wraps, look back. Even get your neck involved, looking over shoulder. And then release back to neutral. Let's come into that butterfly again and move through some hip circles. Inhale as you circle forward. Exhale as you circle back. Just imagining the spiral of your energy back down to the earth. Connecting back into the core of our planet, rooting you back down. Make sure that you spiral both directions to find balance. Treating your sides equally here. Both left and right side of your energy. Left and right side of your body. And then when you're ready, make your way down to your spine and hug your knees into your chest once you get there. Just give yourself a little squeeze to release. And then take your knees over to the right in a full spinal twist. Your left arm reaches out, palm down, look away from your knees, get your neck involved. Twist all the way through. It's like you're wringing yourself out, creating more space between every vertebrae. Really sink into your exhales. Let the earth take the tension. When you're ready, move to the other side. Taking balance, twisting out both ways. Take a deep breath. Bring it back into neutral. We're going to keep our knees bent, set the feet on the ground about hip distance. We're just going to do one bridge pose here. You're going to take your hands down. When you're ready, tuck your tailbone, lift up, lift your heart, maybe even walk your shoulders under more. This lift of the spine, we really get into all of the chakras here. Another way to access in addition to twists. Take an inhale. Exhale, release back down. Shake it out. And let's start to take our feet up to the sky. You're just going to move your feet around any way you need to. Move your ankles. This is another way that we can invert and shift our energy. This also helps us to really open up anything that might be blocking us from grounding, especially as we move off our mats and throughout our day, getting back on our feet again. Back into the real world. We really want to feel connected and grounded and safe and secure. Let's take a deep breath. Bring the knees in, roll the knees around. Inverting also aids our lymphatic system. Connecting back to that water energy, which is also good for us to stay fluid in life and go with the flow. And then whenever you're ready, you're just going to release down to your final resting pose, your Shavasana, taking a moment to release all the way down. Again, come back into that neutral channel in your spine. Close your eyes. Let yourself be soft. Let your breath move all the way up and down your spine. All the way through these energy centers and back out again. Really sink back into that connection of the earth, the place that holds you here in this human experience. Let the earth take any tension so that you can live a life full of love, full of expansion, full of connection and growth. Let's take a few more breaths here to fully release and let go. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. When you're ready, start to move your fingers and toes. If it feels good, reach your arms overhead, stretch from fingers to toes. On an exhale, hug your knees into chest, squeeze to release your spine. Give yourself that hug. And then roll to the side of your choice. Come on up to seated. We're going to meet in a comfortable seat again, back where we started. And this time you can rest your hands wherever feels most natural. Connect back to your posture, keeping the eyes closed. Breathe deeply and relax. And let go of any tension that remains. And as you look back and reflect on your practice, just notice how you feel. Connect to your energy. And we're going to breathe here just a few more minutes, doing a quick meditation to reactivate our chakras now that we've opened everything up. We'll start by bringing more awareness to our root chakra, imagining a red ball of light there. Let that red ball of light move throughout your entire root chakra, through all of your vertebrae, through your tailbone, through the lower parts of your body, and on out through your feet, through the rest of the earth.
And then bring awareness to your sacral chakra. Imagine an orange ball of light here. And feel this orange ball of light radiating, moving like water or hot lava throughout your sacral chakra, throughout your sacrum, throughout your sides and outer hips, throughout the hips themselves, throughout your pelvis, throughout your pelvic muscles, throughout your low belly. And let this continue to radiate down and out through the rest of your body, blending with the red energy of your root chakra. And now tune into your solar plexus, your internal sun, and really see this internal sun, this yellow ball of light here in your belly center, in the center of your back, in the center of your spine, in your waist, in your abdominals, in your digestive system. Feel this fire energy, this heat that drives you and motivates you and keeps you balanced and sustained. And let this red root of the earth and orange water of the sacral area connect now to the yellow of your internal sun. And let that yellow energy move down and out throughout the rest of your body, blending with the other colors. And now connect to your heart, connecting to this green or pink or both green and pink balls of light. Feel this shimmering heart energy resonating as light, resonating throughout your heart, your ribs, your lungs, your shoulders, your chest, your upper back, your arms, your hands, your fingers. Let it pour out of your fingertips and your hands. Let love pour out from the center of your being, your center of gravity. And let that green or pink or both green and pink light radiate and mix with the rest of the colors, the yellow of your sun, the orange of your water, the red of your earth. Let that green and pink light also move into the upper parts of your body. Connect to the blue of your throat chakra. Feel your breath moving through your airways and your sinuses. Feel the throat opening up more as you rest your vocal cords. Feel yourself breathing into authenticity and honesty as this blue light radiates out from your throat and through the upper parts of your body and the lower parts of your body, mixing with the rest of the colors: green, pink, yellow, orange, red. And now breathe into your third eye, this energy center above your eyes, within your pineal gland. See a purple ball of light here. And as this purple ball of light shimmers and radiates throughout your eyes, the back of your head, your temples, your forehead, and the rest of your body, feel yourself opening up to your spiritual vision, your sixth sense, your intuition, your internal guidance. and your connection to faith and trust. And let this purple or indigo light mix with the other colors. Blue of the throat, green or pink or both of the heart, yellow of your belly, orange of your hips, red of your lower parts of your body. Blending all of those colors together. And finally, connect to your crown chakra, both crown of your head and the space just above and around you. Feel all of the colors before you blending up now into a rainbow of light. And this rainbow ball of light turns into a glittering white and gold energy. It's as if this rainbow ball of light is sprinkling out this glittering gold and white energy, and it's showering all around you now. And as you breathe into the connection of this energy, you are connected to the energy of stardust, of the cosmos, of this galaxy and others. You are connected to the energy of creation, which connects you to the energy of all living things. Let yourself be connected to the oneness now. As you breathe into the openness of all of your energy centers and the flow of your life force energy, your prana. Be soft and open as you receive these different colors of light, as you activate your chakras and as you connect to the oneness of all, as you continue to stay grounded in this human experience. Take a deep breath in and out. Bring your awareness back. Bring your hands together at your heart. With eyes closed, lift your heart to head. Bow your head to heart to seal in gratitude for this practice, for your energy, for your different frequencies of light. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Bring an open mouth exhale to your heart. Take 2 more cleansing breaths. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.